Welcome to Truth versus Philosophy TV. This is our new series, Lessons from Machiavelli. Today we will receive wisdom and advice from one of the greatest political thinkers in written history. But before we get started, let me educate you on Machiavelli. Niccolò Machiavelli was an eminent philosopher and diplomat in the Florentine Republic, which is in modern-day Italy, between the late 1400s and the early 1500s. His renowned writing on strategy and politics led to the creation of the term Machiavellianism, which refers to the use of cunning and duplicity in statecraft and in general conduct. He is sometimes referred to as the founder of modern political science. Machiavelli's best-known work is The Prince, which is considered to be one of the premier books about political philosophy. The book is intended as a how-to guide for rulers, but many of the lessons there can be applied by regular people too, and especially by those in leadership positions. British philosopher and Nobel laureate Bertrand Russell once called The Prince a handbook for gangsters. The book, a slender political treatise by the Italian Niccolò Machiavelli, was offered to Lorenzo de' Medici as a sort of job application. Written in 1513, it was not widely published until 1532, 5 years after the author's death. Upon its publication, The Prince became well known as among the most controversial of many advice books for rulers. Generally, these advice books framed their instruction around Christian virtue. The Prince did not. In our first lesson on Machiavellian principles, it's essential to highlight the significance of taking advice. The Prince by Niccolò Machiavelli delves into this concept, underlining the value of seeking counsel for effective leadership. Here is what Machiavelli had to say. A prince who is not wise himself will never take good advice, unless by chance he has yielded his affairs entirely to one person who happens to be a very prudent man. In this case, indeed, he may be well governed, but it would not be for long, because such a governor would in a short time take away his state from him. Elements of Machiavellian philosophy can also be observed within the mafia. Mob bosses actively seek advice and even have a designated role for this purpose. The consigliere, a trusted advisor within the mafia family, provides critical perspectives necessary for informed decision-making in effort to avoid criminal prosecution. The consigliere serves as an advisor to the leader, resolving internal disputes and offering counsel, fulfilling a role similar to that of advisors to high-ranking individuals in other organizations. Machiavellian teachings have negative connotations. They are seen as manipulative and conjure thoughts of autocratic power. In today's corporatocracy, owning a large business is akin to being a medieval king or feudal lord. Machiavellian principles often drive businesses to exploit weaknesses and exert influence for their own interests. This dynamic contributes to cynical views of capitalism and fuels criticism of the economic system entirely. I'll leave you with a quote from Elon Musk, one of the world's most successful businessmen. He says, "I think it's very important to have a feedback loop where you're constantly thinking about what you've done and how you could be doing it better." I think that's the single best piece of advice. Constantly think about how you could be doing things better and questioning yourself. Thank you for tuning in to Truth versus Philosophy. Subscribe now for more thought-provoking content. Until next time.